This channel is made possible by viewers like you. My viewers, subscribers, and patrons greatly help to keep this channel going. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all of you. Please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any uploads. And if you'd like to go the extra mile, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you'll get access to what I'm working on, previews of upcoming content, and even early videos, along with other tier options for those that are interested. Thank you, and now on to the video. So this weekend, if you're looking for something fun to play, you might be looking at that new big Star Wars game that is coming out, Star Wars Outlaws. Well, I'm here today to use this opportunity to piggyback off the Star Wars YouTube algorithm and direct your attention to a better set of games that are most definitely worth your time even more. To disclose, I have not yet played Star Wars Outlaws at all. I actually love the company Massive Entertainment for their work with their prior two Division titles, one even more so, but everything I have seen from this game has me scratching my head a bit, and honestly has me worried about the future of Division 3, if these same developers are involved with that. Why do I say this? Well, outside of the large amount of bugs and issues that are circulating online, we have choices like taking an attractive motion capture voice actress for the main character, and adding on a large amount of ugly to that character model. I'm not saying that every character needs to look like a big boobala anime lady, though I wouldn't mind that either. But when you take an actress and use her face for the in-game model for the main character, and add on a mammoth-sized chin to her, along with changes to her face, it just makes you wonder if many of these big developers in the West seem to have an agenda to push the ugly on us players. To add on to this, gamers could pay for early access to the Star Wars Outlaws game. Then they came out with a patch a few days ago after this and basically required gamers to then restart the game because of a recent update that will cause issues down the line for a current save. This essentially nulls your early access, and at that point, what was the point of early access? And this does not send the right message to the player base, because something like this feels like it was both wasting the player's time and now money. Now what if this patch was unavoidable? It had to be done to prevent issues down the line. Then to gain a bit of goodwill, I would have released or provided something to the early access players as a way to cushion this blow. This would at least send the right message and show that the company cares and appreciates each one of its players. But so far, I haven't seen anything like that yet. Maybe they will fix this, but until then, you can
bite my crunchy brown ass.
So you want to play something new this weekend, or maybe even something old and retro, or just something good. So Star Wars is out, and you're on the PlayStation and want something good. Well, let me direct you towards 3 of the finest first-person shooters that I have ever played. Sony has been slowly building up their backwards compatibility catalog, and the last week they dropped 3 great games all in one day. We got the entire Timesplitters trilogy back, and as someone who has been taking advantage of having these titles back, I have been diving into them and talking about these games about how incredibly well they hold up. Yeah, sure, the first game looks the most dated, but when looking back at the animation, just from the in-game characters to even the fantastic cutscenes in 2 and 3, you have these very expressive and fluid characters that feel alive. The cartoony look is a great asset to these titles because of how the action is presented. You have something smooth and fluid here, while also allowing it to be presented with different tones and settings that Timesplitters can do anything with. Be in any sort of setting, along with taking on any tone and then succeeding at all of it. In one game, you might be exploring an old Soviet base, trying to uncover secrets there. In another, you're fighting gangsters in a film noir kind of setting in Chicago. And in others, you are smacking guys with bats and fighting as a gingerbread man. You want fun? Well, you have it here.
Right on! Let's go, man! We got a boogie!
For all of you newbies out there, it is important to point out that each one of these games provides a great entry point into the series. For example, you can start up Future Perfect, the 3rd game, and be able to get into it right away and enjoy the campaign and its story. Or maybe you start with 2, or you start off with 1. If I was trying to get someone into the series and I was sitting down and playing co-op with them, I would probably start in order. But if it's someone I did not know and the player was more of a modern player, then I would probably suggest Timesplitters Future Perfect. The campaign takes a more traditional approach and has a very entertaining time travel story full of great characters and lots of laughs. If I knew the gamer had a fondness for retro titles and was a bit hesitant on the series overall, I would probably point them to Timesplitters 2. The first game is great, but the jump from 1 to 2 is just impressive. 2 improves in every way and delivers in masterpiece-like levels. You really can't go wrong with any of these games. And as a brief tangent, I'm currently playing all of the games again as we speak. and the level of detail and richness provided in each of the campaign levels of Timesplitters 2. They honestly could have made a full-blown game out of each of those. They act as these vignette mini-stories that then feed back into the overall plot of the game. Playing the Chicago level again, I was taking in the streets you fight within, along with all of the buildings, and I was thinking I would kill for a full-blown game in this setting and with its gameplay.
Chicago. And I've had a belly full of it. Everyone's on the take. The DA, City Hall, even the cops on the beat, being paid to turn a blind eye. But me? Nah, I couldn't. So I got out. It's all down to Mr. Big. He's cost me everything. So tonight I sent him a message. And boy, will he take the bait.
So yes, there is a bit of a downside. The Timesplitters games do not currently have any online play. The third game did have it when it originally released, but currently it's not available in these re-releases. Something that I hope is that it's added on in the future, or maybe we do get full-blown remasters at some point. But you do have a few options. Timesplitters was always the home for split-screen fun. All of the campaigns can be played in two-player co-op, and while I have a lot of love for local play, for many of us this might not be possible with crazy lives, work, family, kids, and all that. But you can use share play to play those games online. And on top of this, if you can manage to get a few friends together, it does have 4-player split screen. While there is so much stuff to praise about Timesplitters, the inclusion of bots and multiplayer tweaking, along with being some of the best aspects to the game, you can have an extensive amount of bots here to fight with or against, along with a large amount of characters to choose from. Each one has their own distinct personalities, and a few will definitely make you laugh. Unlocks are around every corner. The minute-to-minute shooting is fantastic, and you get rewarded for pretty much whatever you do. I read something from one of the developers regarding these games. They said they were a small team always trying to fight above their weight class, and you can see it here, and these titles really do shine.
Let's roll.
Oh.
So there you have it. You can invest more in some of the modern slop with Star Wars Outlaws, which is not having a good time with their launch, and not sending the right message to their player base. But like I said, I can only talk about what I have seen. I haven't played the game yet. There is always a good chance that I actually enjoy that game but still hold the issues that I talked about today. Or there could even be a case where Ubisoft manages to course correct and improve their game through big updates and patches. I have seen this done before with them. For example, Ghost Recon Breakpoint launched in a horrible state, and was not as good as Wildlands. Then through many updates and an overhaul of the game, it actually became something really awesome to play today, and has features that we honestly probably wouldn't have seen if the game didn't need to be fixed. The optional modifications allowed for players to cater the game to their liking. At the same time, I love a good redemption story, but how many times are we going to see a game launch, and then need to get those fixes? While I will probably still always praise the work that goes into fixing it, it makes you wonder if something needs to change with how these games are being developed, to ensure better launches and communication with the players. So maybe skip out on Outlaws and try another piece of science fiction. Timesplitters respects the players, their time, and money. What are you playing this weekend? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you can help to keep this channel going strong, and this allows me to be able to do more for my awesome audience. Please check out the links in the description and pinned comment for ways to support the channel. And most of all, thank you very much for watching.